Hello and welcome to the Dune Minute Podcast, your place to deep dive minute by minute into the cinematic adaptation of Frank Herbert's World of Dune. I'm one of your hosts, John.
And I'm Zach.
How you doing today?
I'm good. We are still fighting through allergies, but hey, that's the South, baby.
Gotta love it. Yeah. Well, today's episode, we're starting off with some loyalty, and we are ending with some sketchy hooded figures.
That's right. My notes say we start with a friendly smile and we end with an ominous silhouette.
I like your notes better.
Do you want to restart it?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
You know, I try to come up with a joke at the beginning of
I know
every
you do. I just pulled that one right out of my ass.
That's
and
good.
It was,
yours was good.
No, I'd give it about like a 4.5, but whatever.
I don't mind helping you punch up.
We're not here to talk about that, though. We're here to talk about minute 56 through minute 57 of Dune Part 1. We're finishing up the last little bit of the conversation in the barracks. We ended yesterday's episode with Paul stating a fact, not questioning, but just stating that Duncan admires the Fremen. Duncan's response is, I do. They're fierce, loyal. They're attuned to the desert. Part of it, it's part of them. You wait till you see it. It's beautiful out there.
Oh, yeah.
And then we get like a couple seconds of, Paul just kind of like being Paul in this minute, and then just a hard cut to seeing the desert, but not the beautiful part of the desert. This is
the shipyard.
The shipyard, or it's the I guess shipyard would be the right word for like all these crawlers and stuff. And we just get like this loud blaring like megaphone voice where it's just like sunrise warning all workers. Temperatures today will reach 140 degrees. It's currently 90 degrees. And in 10 minutes, we will hit 120 degrees. Last warning call. And as someone that lives in Georgia.
Oh, buddy, when I was watching these things yesterday, I felt this so hard.
Yeah. No,
it was like, I don't know what time I did this, probably around noon yesterday.
Yep.
And it was like 92 degrees outside plus. And I was like, ugh, this sucks.
It doesn't get to 140 here, but goddamn, it feels like it does.
It certainly feels like it.
And, when it's quote unquote cool in the morning at 78 or whatever, and then an hour later it's, 98. You just want to fucking like tear your skin off because it's so hot and gross.
I made the mistake of going outside for a run or walk, jog, whatever.
Sure.
As much running as my knee will allow me to do.
Yeah. Because you're old. But.
Yep. And I did it at like 8:30 the other day in the morning, and it was already it was like almost 90, humidity just so high. And I wanted to die. It was like I was running through soup. It was gross.
Yep. Now, if you're running in the summer, you got to be out and running before the sun is up, or like as the sun is coming up, because otherwise you're toast.
Yep. So Arrakis, very hot. We get. I think this was.
But Arrakis is a dry heat, so shut the fuck up.
Sure. I think 140 dry heat is still pretty damn hot.
It's a little toasty. Yeah. But it's cool that we got some like actual numbers and stuff to relate to. I'm sure all the Europeans watching this were like,
that's even worse for them.
140. Jesus.
I wonder if they
did not probably get a localized version of that.
You don't think that would be kind of interesting? If you're
European,
if you've watched
and we
this
know
movie,
that you are, because we see the analytics. We see that
we got some folks over there. We know we do.
Or some of our Australian listeners, let us know if your version is
in Celsius terms versus Fahrenheit terms, because I'm genuinely interested to know.
Because if Arrakis is 140 Celsius, everyone would be dead.
Yeah, I don't think that's livable. So the camera is panning around this shipyard. We're getting various maintenance and repairs happening. Mm-hmm. Interesting to note that the workers, if you zoom in on them, they are not wearing still suits as we know them.
Correct.
Looks like they're wearing just like gray tracksuits.
They're just all in Dickies, dude.
Yeah, I guess, but they are wearing helmets though.
Hey,
so I'm
safety
sure
first.
Yes.
OSHA still exists. 40,000 years into the future, apparently.
Space OSHA, yes.
Space OSHA. Do you think
It's probably
Space OSHA is like a governing body, or is it just like?
I was gonna say it's a department within the Spacing Guild.
Yeah,
that's where I'd put it.
Or like, it's a department within CHOAM.
Sure.
Or some shit. If you're a bureaucrat.
Yeah, so we get the first shots, I believe our first shots of an Atreides carryall.
Correct.
And Harvester.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen these. We've seen Harkonnen.
Correct. Because they're the giant like spider buggy looking.
Yeah. This is the first mention of the or first view of the Atreides equipment that we're working with.
Yep.
They are different in design from the ones we saw in the beginning, which were the Harkonnen ones. Same functions, I would have to assume. It's there to collect spice, and the carryall's there to get the harvester where it needs to go.
How long do you think the Atreides had to build all these carryalls? Because,
I don't know.
Like,
well, I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. I think tomorrow's minute I have some notes on that.
Okay.
So let's put a pin in that.
Okay. Come back tomorrow to listen more.
It's called a tease. And so the carryall comes in. We see the 4 like anchors or grappling hooks or whatever you want to call them.
I love how they just like shoot out super fast. Just
You think it's magnets? I think it's magnets. It's got to be magnets.
It's got to be magnets. How do they work?
I don't know. We still haven't figured it out. And then once the anchors are connected, 4 large balloons pop out of the top, or shoot out of the top, I should say.
Yeah. Okay. So
this confirms my long-standing theory that the pinnacle of air travel was balloon based.
I'm going to hard disagree with that.
We're going back to it apparently.
Only because Arrakis's atmosphere is probably so thin from it being so fucking hot.
I don't know, man. Classics never die, I guess.
I don't know.
What were you going to say then?
I was going to say the moments that we have CGI in this movie are all very good, except for the balloons. I feel like the balloons were kind of an afterthought, and they were kind of rushed because just the way that they like come up and expand and everything looks so not as good as everything else. I agree with you. It's interesting you say that because I noted out another instance within this week. I think we'll talk about it on Friday. Yeah.
Of bad CGI as well.
Okay.
So
cool.
I don't know if this was, maybe they were running into budgetary constraints when they were doing some stuff.
Maybe it was last minute decisions. I don't know. Yeah. This isn't necessarily to knock anyone.
And I'm not even saying it's bad. It's just like it's noticeable.
It is noticeably different. Yes.
Yeah. It is just of lesser quality than the amazing stuff we've seen so far.
Yeah.
So we get the carryall lifts up, grabs the harvester. I like how the wheels just kind of droop down when it's off the, it's like if you pick up a dog or like a cat, like by their belly, their legs just kind of dangle.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that to the cat that's in front of me, but you can imagine it.
Hey, come here.
God.
No, this one doesn't like to just droop. She just,
she's fighting back. She's fighting back.
Anyways.
And the carryall starts to lift the harvester and carries it out into the desert. So we do get to see them flying through the shield wall. So these mountains that we're seeing. Yeah, we see a couple of them. Yeah, the mountains that you see, those the carryall fly through and like around and past. That is the shield wall that gets mentioned. So it is not a literal shield, like a personal shield, because that would make the worms go nuts. The shield wall.
What the fuck is this?
The shield wall, as we mentioned many minutes ago, is like a natural mountain range that surrounds the city.
I feel like if they had like an actual like Holtzman effect shield going on, that would be the equivalent of like the upstairs neighbor constantly like with their stereo going on, and they're also just like thumping around super hard.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So in that respect, I completely understand why Shai Hulud would be pissed off all the time.
Yeah. Some very dramatic music is playing as we watch this flight happen.
Overly dramatic for the
yeah.
I noted that as well. I was like, this is a bit more intense, but maybe they just wanted to portray the intensity of the desert. I don't know.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I liked it still. It's just I noticed I was like, this is a little out of place. It felt like to me, just a smidge, but hey, whatever.
One thing before we get too far away from it, though.
Okay.
One thing that I noticed during the shipyard scene, when we're watching the carry-all for the first time, you see like little tiny specks of people next to the treads of the.
Oh, really? I didn't notice that.
Yeah. Once again, as we've talked about a lot, sense of scale with how huge like all this machinery is and everything. There's like 5 people next to it, and they don't even take up, like standing side by side, they don't even take up a third of just one of the single treads.
Ooh, jeez.
For the crawler, so or the harvester.
We will get to see that up close and personal a little bit later. But,
later on. But this is just a little sprinkling.
It's a little morsel, a little spice morsel for us.
A melange morsel?
No, spice morsel. That's a thing in the books. We don't probably not going to talk about them here. But like the little treats that they sell in the city.
Is that just like the little like keychain key bump that they do with spice?
No, they're like snacks and stuff that are like infused with spice that the Fremen eat. They call them spice morsels.
All right, cool.
Nice little treats. We don't linger on the desert and the flight too long though, because we cut to the inside of a hangar. We got some silhouetted figures standing next to an ornithopter.
Yep.
Leto, Paul, Gurney, and some random Atreides guards, which I will refer to in the rest of these minutes as the A-Team.
Just a surprise Mr. T cameo.
Well, the Atreides team, the A-Team. Yeah, you get it.
All right. Yeah. The van comes barreling in.
Yeah. That would be fun.
There's a scene later on where we see like several ornithopters, but you just see like the van with like this shitty like
I want the van
engine.
just hauling ass over the desert dunes. Like keeping up with the
just
ornithopters.
Replace all of Hans Zimmer's music with the fucking A-Team theme song for the rest of the movie.
Jesus. The A-Team, I'm going to keep us moving. The A-Team is walking towards this ominous figure. And last shot of the minute is of the figure starting to take their hood off.
Yes. I have a gripe about this scene.
Go on.
So, we just heard the PA announcer say, we're going from 90 to 120 in 10 minutes with highs of 140 for today.
Yeah.
Why are there just 2 dudes just standing out in the direct sunlight in this hangar behind this hooded figure?
I don't know. I didn't put those together.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't hear it. Maybe it was just for the working team.
Only for the workers. Like
it says all workers.
They've got AirPods.
Yeah.
And that's what it actually is going to or whatever.
Well, the announcement did say all workers, and maybe these aren't workers, so they didn't have to.
Are guards not workers?
Well, not those specific types of workers.
I don't know. I noticed that there's like plenty of shade, like 5 feet in front of these 2 guards, but they're standing in direct sunlight, and I just thought it was funny. So.
Well, the camera doesn't like stay on them for too long. So
it doesn't, but it's a wide enough shot that you see them, and it's like, huh.
Well, maybe they're going, it's so hot. Oh gosh, I should have listened to that PA announcement. It's really hot out here. And then they rush back inside.
Maybe.
Hmm.
Who knows? We'll find out. No, we won't.
Spoiler, we won't find out.
No, not at all, actually.
That's all I had for this one. Anything else on your notes?
That is our minute. We do also see the ornithopters in their closed position.
Correct.
So our little heart mollusks are resting for a moment.
Yep.
They're brief respite.
I feel like these next couple of days / weeks, we're going to have like a fair amount of ornithopter talk.
Yep.
I feel like we should bring up the Lego set so we can refer to it.
every single time that we see an ornithopter, or
I just like having a visual.
okay, yeah, I'll go downstairs and bring it up.
All right. It's cool, man. It's cool.
No,
It's a cool.
I'm
Lego
not
set.
disagreeing. I loved building it, except for missing that one piece that I missed halfway through. So I had to like take it apart and then go back in and put in that one fucking piece.
Oh yeah, I did something similar with mine. I was off on the main like frame construction.
Yeah,
I was
by like one.
Yeah, just one space, and it messed everything up. So it was like at the very end when I was putting everything together, I was like, son of a gun. To disassemble almost all of it to put it back. It was an infuriating hour or so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotta pay attention.
It's the joys of Lego.
I love it.
All right, cool. Well, that'll do it for today.
Yeah.
You can find us online if you'd like to reach out. We are on Instagram at the Dune Minute. We are on Twitter at Dune Minute. You can reach us on Gmail if you'd like to send us an email. We are at duneminute@gmail.com.
That's correct.
Yeah. And please reach out if you got anything to shout at us about. Please don't shout, but
Please don't shout. I will cry.
Please talk nicely to us.
Or don't. I'll just ignore you then.
If you'd like, we would appreciate some 5-star ratings if you like us, or any kind of ratings on Apple or whatever your podcatcher is. It does help. Goes a long way in getting the show out to new people. We have a small but loyal following right now, and we'd love to add this out to as many folks who are interested.
Yeah, and if you have friends that are also big nerds, whether they're movie nerds or just sci-fi nerds or nerds in general, feel free to share the podcast with those.
Yeah. All right, cool. We'll be back tomorrow to see who this hooded figure is.
Mystery.
All right, see ya.